So we've made it to Bora Bora, and Bora Bora is just absolutely mind-blowingly, stunningly beautiful, and it fulfilled one of our big dreams to buy a boat, which was to snorkel off the back of the boat over that translucent green blue tropical water. Absolutely amazing. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. And it was only 12 weeks ago that we purchased our catamaran in Papiti, Tahiti. And in that 12 weeks, we've had to learn how to sail it, we've had to service it, get spare parts on board it before we depart for Tonga in such a short time. It's been a real mission, it's been a real push, but we loved the challenge, and it was lots of highs and lows, which all added to the adventure. So Bora Bora is part of the Society Islands of French Polynesia. It was a 150 nautical mile sail overnight from Tahiti, and it was our first overnight sail, which was very adventurous. We had to stay awake a lot as we were going past lots of little islands in the night, and being a first sail, we really wanted to make sure we didn't crash into something. In the middle of the lagoon is an extinct volcano, and that makes an exotic backdrop to all your photos, and it's nice just to sit on the back of the boat gazing out at such a beautiful scene. If only Bora Bora was undiscovered and it was just us living there, we could build an exotic, evil lair and plot world domination. But however, instead, it's a good location for honeymooners, movie stars, and of course salty sailors like us to visit.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Good morning, it's 5:55 AM, and we're just coming to the end of our first night at sea. I suppose my job here is to try and be descriptive for you guys. It's been a confused sea with 2-meter swells from one quarter and then the wind and some swells from that wind from the other quarter. But yeah, it's gone well. Nobody's got seasick, and I've just had a few snoozes while Yogi and Monica did some shifts, but not a lot of sleep. We've got about 7 hours to go to get into Bora Bora. But yeah, it does feel amazing. Just reflecting back on all the, when you're sitting there in the 5 years before you buy a sailing boat and you're watching the YouTube sailing channels, and just now you're out here doing it yourself, it feels pretty interesting. It's a very special feeling. Another thing is, they say that everybody goes on about the big ocean passages, but the smaller coastal passage close to islands, they actually had to keep a lot more of an eye on it because there was wind effect from islands, changing the wind around. We had to jibe a few times, and I had to make waypoints around land so that we didn't crash into something. So actually more tricky stuff than just heading out into the middle of nowhere and setting up autopilot and watching the horizon. So that's a bit of a wrap. I hope that has done a good job at summing it up. The sun is just coming up behind me. I just had my first shower on passage, and it was amazing. It's got to be one of the most exotic showers in the world. We look out the window and there's Bora Bora going past, and beautiful blue waves sloshing past the window. It was so good. It was very nice. Refreshed me too after not a lot of sleep. See you soon.
Cure for all the pain. What can I do? I keep falling for you. Wrong fall so true. I keep falling for you.
needed a change of view and we wanted to stock up with fuel, a little bit of shopping and treat ourselves to the odd night out at a restaurant. So we've been moving around to the other side of the island. It's one of the cool things of living on a boat. When you get sick of the view, you move. And there's a cool little kayaker dude just catching a ride in our wake out the back. So have a look at that. That's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
So due to lack of maintenance over the years previous, the water maker's quite rusty and a bolt's broken off in it. So it works, but only just. So we're just at the dock filling up with water, and we'll come back and we'll top up with water just before we head for Tonga. So this is Vaitapi dock area, Bora Bora, which is pretty much the most built up area for us. There's some restaurants around here to visit and still nice anchorages, but we're enjoying a bit of civilization because we're still so new to this cruising thing. And want to make the point that everything's the first time. This is the first time I've been onto a flat dock, not backed into a marina. And we're going to have to spring off this dock as well, which is a technique of using ropes to twist the boat out and then back away from it. Otherwise the wind is blowing us onto the dock. So everything's sort of new and a little bit nerve-wracking. So we're not super relaxed world cruisers yet, but I think that'll come with time.
Just do your thing.
How's those cushions looking?
Yeah. You don't want to be lingering too much because it's gonna.
Oh, it's going to push on them, all right.
Just let's go.
No, I'm not. The boat's going to be quite an angle out. You'll see it. Are we protected from the wharf?
Yeah. The fenders are good. This is getting quite tight.
Yep, it will be. The boat protected itself.
Just. No. Hit it.
Okay, let it go. And quick. Manoeuvring a 48-foot catamaran with only you and your partner, you or your lady on board, always takes a little bit of patience, and I think one has to be careful to keep the stress levels down. Before setting off on this passage, I watched a very good video on YouTube about how to spring off a dock, and with enough powerboating experience in my background, if I've watched a manoeuvre or been told about a manoeuvre, we're pretty good at pulling it off. And the other point to make here is that cruising catamarans are very affected by the wind. It only takes a small breeze and you would not be able to push it off the wharf with somebody helping you. So you need to perfect the techniques of springing off the wharf and keeping that in mind. So in the description below, I've included a copy of the link to the video I watched on how to spring off a wharf. That's a good one. So we just successfully went to the water dock and the fuel dock, and they're both tricky in their different ways. Like I've only done docking 6 or 8 times so far, and it's still quite a long 48-foot and 25-foot wide boat. But I'm getting there. So it all went well. Nothing went really bad, but each one's slightly different, and you've got to do something slightly different and learn how the boat operates. So we're just going. So now we've got water, we've got fuel. The last thing we've got to do, 2 more things before we depart for Tonga, is just top up on groceries and go to the police station here and check out. So we'll show you that shortly. But for the next 3 or 4 days while we wait for the weather, we're just going back to a nice little anchorage, and that's only about 10 minutes away, nice and quick. Yogi is up front watching for coral and making sure we're getting the depth right, and we're heading to an anchorage over there in the shallows with the nice blue water. And I just love cruising around here because you just look out at the beautiful Bora Bora. It's so striking, such a presence. And then with the layers of little houses and accommodation and coconut trees, very beautiful.
When I call her up to say I'm in town, I get a notion we both walk the same ground. Been traveling all over, searching far and away for a sign to lead me straight. We walk together down the streets of our home. It's been forever, a long time that I've been gone. The feelings come easy as we start a new day, and I know what I should say.
So I've just made friends with a big silver fish that likes hanging out under the boat, kind of like a barracuda. And I'm feeding him dry bread.
And how's that going? Are they eating it?
Yeah, no, he's loving it. So the good news is we're departing for Tonga, maybe via Palmerston Island tomorrow. We've got the weather window and we're just running around town, checking out with the police, topping up on groceries, maybe try and buy a gas bottle. So I think we're just about heading off on one of the biggest adventures of our lives, but more about putting that into perspective later. So let's go get some chores done. So far we've done half the checkout with the police, and Yogi had to do about 15 pages of paperwork. We've been to the bank, we've got some US dollars if we need to pay somebody to fix the boat or something at the little islands in between. We brought some fishing gear to barter with, and now we're going to top up on stuff at the supermarket. It all adds up to quite a bit of work. It's quite hot, but it's good to be getting things done, and hopefully we'll depart tomorrow. Yogi, let's get some bananas.
No bananas.
Why?
Apparently it's a bad luck to have bananas on the boat. Good morning. Today is a very exciting day for us. We are crossing oceans. We are going to Tonga and it's gonna take 7 to 8 days, so I'm quite excited. But ask me in 3 days time, or 2 days time, or even tonight.
Here's Francis. He is the moorings manager here, so if you bring your boat to French Polynesia, call up Francis on Channel 9 on the VHF and he'll help you, very helpful. So we're all checked out from the police station. They've given us a form that said we've complied with everything and we've got permission to cast off. And the next destination is going to look at us and make sure we've got that form and that we're good people. So it's 8:45 and at about 11 or 1 p.m. we're going to depart French Polynesia. So we're now full of water and we're departing Bora Bora for Palmerston Island or Tonga. Let's see which one we get to. Palmerston Island's 4 days or Tonga is 7 to 8 days. It feels pretty special. The authorities are quite relaxed. They trust us yachties that we checked out this morning, but we're still in the country buying groceries and doing bits and pieces for little projects. What can I say? It feels free, like we're just departing off into nowhere, really. So we'll follow the chart plotter and see what happens. So hang on, back the truck up. Stop this. Isn't this crazy? We've only just brought this boat and now we're departing on an international passage from Tahiti to Tonga for 8 to 10 days? What are we doing? Are we nuts? Well, these are the questions I was asking myself. And in my head there's a scale of well prepared or you're just an idiot and you're just crazy. Well, I wanted to make sure I was somewhere in the middle, just on the side of prepared versus an idiot and crazy. Well, there was lots of things we did to get ready to go. We got first aid kits, we serviced the boats, we got more spare parts, we got some training on how to do it. But we got very little training. We only had 3.5 days training. We did a day sail and overnight sail. And now as we leave Bora Bora, we're raising the sails for probably only the 8th time to sail to Tonga. But there was one thing I did that I thought just tipped me in my head from being a crazy idiot to being prepared enough to take this on. And to find out that, you're going to have to watch the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bora Bora was absolutely beautiful. We can't wait to go back there. But see you in the next episode as we sail to Tonga. In the next episode, Yogi and I complete our first international offshore passage to Tonga. While in Tonga, we visit a local plantation where they grow vanilla bean, pawpaw, taro, coconuts, and much, much more. We make friends with some locals, and we get taken to their house to learn how they cook local food and enjoy a yummy meal afterwards. We rest up for 3 weeks, and then we depart on to New Zealand. Thank you for watching, and please remember to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that my monthly or so uploads don't get lost in the YouTube algorithm. Also, feel free to leave your comments about the video, what went well and what you'd like to see more of below. The videos are only going to get better and better as we travel around the world on this Leopard 48.